So we're going to go over today a neural tension stretch for your upper extremity. So the keys to this are you're going to cause tension in that nervous system, the peripheral nerve. You just got to go easy on this. You don't want to overdo it because you don't want to irritate the nerve, but you want to kind of stretch it. And there's two ways you can stretch it. So the nerve is made up of a tube, then inside there's fibers. So you can stretch the tube, you can stretch the fibers, and you can also stretch that whole complex running through the tissues. So there's different goals. So one, you want to lengthen the actual tube and fibers, but you also want to make sure that can move through the tissues. So we'll kind of address both of them. But what you're going to do, it so happens this works specifically for you in this particular case because it is your right arm. But whether right or left, what you're going to do is you're going to start with your hand, your fingers pointing up with your palm against the wall. My elbow's bent, my body is, so this whole system is fairly relaxed right now. So what I'm going to do is the first thing I'm going to do, also you should be aligned well. Like I shouldn't be, my posture should be upright, I should have a chin tuck, and I should be slightly core activated. Core activated just means a little tension in your belly. Step one is I'm just going to move my body slightly away and straighten the elbow. How does that feel? Now, if there's nothing there, you can move your head away, and that adds more tension to the system. Because remember, the nerve starts from the spinal cord, goes into from the brain, goes down into the spinal cord, then comes out all these peripheral nerves at each level. So by stretching my neck, I have the potential of stretching the nerve if the nerve is truly involved. So again, we're starting with the tissue on slack. We just step away and straighten the elbow. How does that feel? If it feels like a stretch, take a deep breath in, breath out, then you bend the elbow. So maybe the first few times you do this, all you're going to be doing is this step. Elbow straight, elbow bent, elbow straight, straighten, breathe in, breathe out, and relax. So maybe you do that. Then to test it, to see if you're ready to move on, you're going to then do the same thing, move the head away. If this does nothing to it, then you're ready to move, you're ready to progress. The next progression is then to, instead of have your fingers straight, so if we're thinking of a clock, that's 12 o'clock, here's 6 o'clock, here's 3 o'clock, and here's 9. So my fingers are at 12, now I'm going to move them to 1. So just by slightly go to 1, I'm going to start again, elbow bent, straighten it away. How does that feel? If it feels fine, then stretch away. If that does nothing, then we can, I should have said 12, you can then move to 2. But the whole goal is to just take it in steps. Everything on slack, straighten away. Does that feel a stretch? It does, good. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And when you're breathing out, you're relaxing. You can always test it. If the head goes away, adds more of a stretch to it, then you can add that component to it. So that would look something like this. I stretch away, head away, breathe in, breathe out. I hope that wasn't confusing. Ultimately, you want to get to 6 o'clock. This is a very provocative step. I don't expect you to be here right away, but that's a really nice stretch on the whole system. Okay? So it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Usually I don't do 5 and 4 and 5. Usually once you get down to 3, usually go right to 6. Start on slack. Don't overdo it. You're better off doing this a lot of times than a lot at once. Okay? And when you break it down, shake it out a little bit. It may feel slightly irritated for a little bit, but after 5-10 minutes, it shouldn't be irritating you anymore. If it does, then you overdid it, and we can then relax it. One other component I didn't mention, but the shoulder cannot be up here. Shoulder has to be down. Okay? And you can try both sides if you need it, but that would be one test. That's like flossing and stretching the nerve. Okay? Very good.